everything makes it into the headlines, but we bring you the full story. Join Uchenna Cyril Anyoke, a renowned media personality and former president of the Nigerian Publishers Association, as he unpacks the real issues behind the news, from politics to public policy, economy to human rights. Nothing is off limits. Expert guest, in-depth conversation, local and global perspective. New episode every week on Facebook and YouTube. Watch now on Freedom Square TV. Follow for updates and behind the scenes clips. Beyond the headlines, beyond the news.
Good morning and welcome to another enlightening edition of Beyond the Headlines on Freedom Square TV. And of course, we are reaching you from our Enugu studios. Enugu is the capital of Southeast Nigeria. Today, we are taking a closer look at a critical issue that affects the dignity of our senior citizens and the economic heartbeat of our communities. Of course, the Enugu State Local Government Staff Pensions Board. For years, the narrative surrounding local government pensions was one of endless queues, frustrating verification exercises, and debilitating backlogs. But today, we are going beyond headlines to discuss a transformative shift. We are diving into how the digitalization of the pension board and recent biometric verifications are changing the game. By cleaning out ghost pensioners and leveraging digital governance, the administration is making timely payment of pensions and gratuities a reality rather than broken promises. Is the system finally working for our retired heroes, men and women who have devoted their time to serving the state? How does this digitalization mean for the future of civil service exit benefits in the state? We have a lot to unpack. Stay tuned because we are about to go beyond the headlines. I'm being joined in the studio by no less a person but a man who is endowed with all the answers to the questions we've raised and the ones we are going to ask. He's a man that is a mediator by training, a medical doctor as well by training and vocation, and of course he is been a player in the governance and politics architecture of Enugu State, and today he's entrusted with the onerous responsibility of steering the ship of the Local Government Staff Pensions Board in Enugu State. He is the CEO, Executive Secretary of the board, Dr. Eric Oledo. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir.
It's a pleasure to have you on Beyond the Headlines, and this is where we discuss issues of national and international importance, things that people ordinarily will not see in the headlines. I'm sure your board is one of such. It's not constantly on the headlines. Now, barely 5 to 6 months ago, you assumed duties as the Executive Secretary, stroke CEO. Can you give us a picture of the state of the Pensions Board prior to your assumption of office?
Thank you very much. I thank you so much for this opportunity. Now, before I came in on board on 22nd December 2026, really, there was already a transformative effect. There was already transformation going on in the board. As soon as the present governor came in on board, he set up a system to transform local government staff pensions board. One of the major areas is that before he came, all the verifications, you will see people coming from Ezikolo in Ozowani, coming from Apugeze, from Ojiriva, Mpu, and Henry, all these distant places, all of them trooping to Enugu for very simple verification every time. So when Peter Mba came on board, the first transformation said, no, we cannot have our elders, we cannot have our pensioners, being carried like this, it's a pitiable situation. And he said, fine, let's establish. And he did establish 17 desk officers and one at the Local Government Service Commission. So 18 desk officers. All of them now in local government areas. So if there's any verification, if there's anything pensioners need today, they don't come to Enugu, they go to their local governments. It was a fantastic move. It has, the pensioners are happy about it. So from the desk office in the local government, they transmit, simple data to us at the local government headquarters. So, and then by that time, before he came in, pensions, local government pensions, you see primary school teachers, like one of my sisters is a retired headmaster. So sometimes she would tell me that, if we are paid January, we will wait for May or April for another pension. That was the situation before Peter Mba came. From July 2024 till today, no pensioner is owed one dime. And the transformation was so efficient that now it is digitalized. And the digitalization took place under Peter Mba.
Okay, so we'll actually come to that. What you just said is that prior to this administration, there was this idea of people coming to Enugu to long queues, old men and women, and
carrying different files.
Yes, and what the government had
carrying files in cartons.
What they've done now is to streamline that, make it less cumbersome. You now go to your local government and have that done. So that's quite a quantum leap. Now, when you assumed office, did you meet any unpaid gratuities?
Yeah, even now we still have unpaid gratuities. Yeah. But the issue is that verifications have been completed for the payment. And then what we are waiting for, you see, plan, process, and product. The plan was there. Peter Mba set up the plan to clear all the gratuities. He said, according from his words, I will not hand over any gratuity to my successor. So he has a plan. The processes are in place. In fact, the processes are almost at the end. They were getting to the end of the processes. And at the end of the process, the payment will be made. And very soon, we're expecting the payments to be made. And that is the gratuity. So every verification has been done, completed. So what is remaining is you get a lot for your gratuity.
Okay, you just mentioned not quite just a moment ago about digitalization, and my question would be: at what point did you think the state government realized there was a need to transit from physical manual verifications to this digital exercise?
Yeah, thank you very much. I wouldn't say this is the time. People might realize something. People might see gaps in places. People might see that, there is need for this kind of thing, but they might not have the political will or the will to say, let's do it. But of course, Peter Mba, immediately he saw that gap, that look, if we don't digitalize this thing, we're still going to be getting incorrect figures about the number of pensioners, about the number of people that are owed, and then the amount in gratuity, the amount it is. So, but they know that technology is better. It gives you the real fact. It makes things easier for you. So I think Peter just came in. The governor simply came in and ordered for digitalization. Now, and the process is not easy. So it took off, and then the processes continue to go on. And when I came in, I met it. I even met it at a stage that when I came in, the number of files in the head office in my office, my God, I couldn't believe seeing that number of files. So more than 28,000 files. When I asked the board accountant, what are these files? They said they belong to our pensioners. I said, yes, the process is ongoing. I now say, fine, let's complete this one. Because I said, what can we do? What are these files for? He said, so each pensioner needs 9 items But you see that a pensioner has two big files that has more than, each of them will contain like 30 papers, but they need just 9 items. So I said, okay, let us now decongest. Let us put them, get the number of 9 items, get these 9 items, put them in soft copy, send them to the cloud. I was told that, okay, if we do that, that we are going to pay to send it to the cloud. I said, okay, no problem. I went and met the secretary to the state government, and he approved that we'll send our data to the cloud. And immediately we finished, compressed this. You can't see any of those files again. What we are seeing is that if Uchanioke is a local government pensioner today, he walks into my office, what I require to hear is that my surname is, or my last name is Anioke, and my pension number is this. That's all. And then I'll call the ICT, they will put it in their system and then pull down all your data. And with that, you don't need to carry anything. All those big bags of files, cartons of files you used to carry to come to our office again. So that is the digitalization process. And it is still, as we do that, we continue to look for any other area we can. And that is the, so we want to finish everything. And what is the effect now? The effect is that with this now, you can't imagine that for the past 4 months, pensioners take their salaries before the workers, the normal workers. So, a medical doctor came, this animal vet doctor came from Ozowani last week and said he just wanted to see me. That his wife is a local government staff, and that for the past 4 months he has been collecting his pension before the wife's salary. And he said, who can this be? They say, one doctor, they say, okay, he must come and see me. I said, oh no, you needed to have called me on phone with chat. That is very expensive coming from Ozowani. That if governor hears that you travel from Ozowani to this place, he will not be happy. He wants pensioners to stay in their local government and then finish everything. He said, no, I needed to see you and tell you to thank the governor for this venture. That pensions before the workers. It's massive.
It's quite gratifying, and it sounds like if it is not true, but it is true. In the course of preparing for this interview, I did a few research. One of the things that popped up was that the exercise exposed over 2,600 ghost and deceased individuals who are now be removed from what will appear to be a bloated data. How exactly did you achieve that?
Okay, it was done before I came, but when I came in, I looked at the file. I found out that, even now, there's a program we call I'm Alive verification. Even now, if a pensioner dies, you won't know until you do that I'm Alive verification. Okay. So, for some period, it was not done. And the number of death pensioners were accumulating, until that verification was done. So they found the number at that time. Then for ghost pensioners, of course, you know that there is a syndicate. We found out there is a syndicate, and it's a very serious and dangerous syndicate. But thank God that the syndicate, all those things are things of past because of digitalization.
If you say there was a syndicate, and what punishment, if any, has been meted to this? Are they good syndicates?
Well, my dear, I said these things took place before I came, and I'm happy that this digitalization has taken care of most of the problems.
Okay, the local government system is actually operating under what looks like a distinct fiscal structure, with the federal government insisting that local government financial autonomy should be observed. How will the Pensions Board ensure that individual local government councils comply with their funding obligation? Because I know they have some funding obligations. So how do you, what is the synergy? What is the relationship? How do you ensure? I know it's one system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the relation? How do you ensure that they comply? Because if they're not complying...
You see, leadership.
Yes.
Leadership is the whole thing. So leadership, Peter Mbah's leadership is definite. You can see it's where you have, in leadership, once there is integrity, everything is there, everything will line up. So the first line charge, he now added pensioners' liability as one of the first line charges. So once the money drops, look, local governments, you have to settle your pensioners, and it is there as a first line charge, and it has been, and that is even what we are trying to. We are thanking the local government chairman for that, thanking the executive governor of Enugu State for that, because if not that, local government chairman, some might decide to pay, some might decide not to pay. Since it is a first line charge in the state, everybody complies. So that's leadership, and leadership with integrity.
Okay, these digital systems we'll talk about may sometimes alienate some very old analog senior citizens who, of course, are not tech savvy. What kind of physical helps or frameworks or mobile biometric capture teams exist to support elderly retirees? Because you must agree with me that most of them, even at digital, is alien to them. How do you ensure that even those who are still working, are compliant?
Yeah, you see, we thought that there will be a kind of hindrances before, but incidentally, these old people are even more compliant to this digital system than the young one. Let me tell you, last 2 months, there was this verification biometrics that lasted 1 month in my office, which was carried out by the Office of the Secretary to the State Government. It lasted for 1 month. Now, these elderly people, because that one involved the state, so they brought in, this. Even if you cannot come, there is a system that is devised that stay in your house, we stay here, do video interaction, and then capture your face. Finish. That's biometric. So it's not compulsory you must come. It's not. It's no longer like that. Even if you are in overseas, we only need a video interaction. Once you show your face, then we capture you. And that is, even this I'm Alive we are going to do next month by the special grace of God. We don't need, you might not physically be present. So what we need to see, your helper or your attendant, your brother, your daughter or your granddaughter or grandson, they will just stay with you, do a video message with us. We capture the man's face, and then.
Can you speak more about this I'm Alive thing? It sounds very interesting.
Okay, I'm Alive.
Yes,
verification
it sounds very interesting.
Is that, from January, like last week, I got 3 letters from 2 different banks telling us that this pensioner is dead, and that, really the letter was meant for another board, so but they mistakenly sent it to me. But these are our pensioners, saying that they are dead. So we've not done anything about it, because you cannot go and start searching for who is dead amongst your pensioners. No, even the executives will not be giving you that information. So what you do is every quarter or every 6 months, you do a I'm Alive verification. That is where you now capture all your pensioners that are alive, and that is a verification that is routine.
Will it be a continuous thing, or just
no, it is done continuously now. It is 2 times a year, or even more sometimes.
Okay, once you transit to digital, the next thing you're going to have is cyber attacks.
Yes.
It's common. In fact, it's like you live in a rural area, there's no express road passing through your village, you say there's no crime. The moment there's a very clean road, that you begin to see crime around the area. So that happens with tech. So cyber threat is so is there any security protocol that are in place to safeguard bank BVN of the people, national identification number, and personal biometrics of these retirees? Because otherwise, hackers could go into your system, and you see that as you are paying some people, the money is being diverted elsewhere.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, that is why there's a unified system in the state. That's why our system is not independent.
Okay, it's not isolated.
So that anything happening, there is that security for the general data of the state. So apart from that, we have our ICT people well trained and also continuously being trained. In fact, one of them was sent to Kuru, some months ago, 1 week training. So, another one is going again. The internal auditor is going for another training, August 2 to August 8. For cyber security system, all these measures. And then on quarterly basis, we also make sure that we train our staff, especially the local government desk officers, because they have to be well equipped to know that their systems can be hacked, and then to know what to do when it is hacked before we start going to the central system. So we do that. We are aware of that. We are conscious of that.
Now that you've talked about training, so beyond those who are in the ICT, what other kind of training and retraining have you conducted to ensure that other staff who are not ICT based are also retooled so that they live up to their responsibilities? Because training and retraining remain a key issue in staff growth and management.
Yes, of course. You know that pensioners are a special breed. The pensioners need more empathy. Pensioners need care. They need attention. In fact, during one of our trainings, if you ask any desk officer today, if you go to any local government and ask a desk officer, why are you smiling? Okay, this your smile, who is it meant for? He or she will tell you, pensioners. So because they have been trained, of which you participated in one of them, communication to pensioners. The way you communicate to pensioners, you were one of the resource persons. So pensioners have been, that is, the desk officers have been so trained that they must smile to pensioners. They now know that consciously this smile they have is meant for pensioners, not for their husband or wife. It's for the pensioners. And when you get to that level that you must smile to your pensioners, you must empathize with them. They are not your age mate. They are your grandmother or your grandfather. Not all of them anyway, but most of them. And that some of them are not hearing you well. They have hearing a problem. Some of them might be looking at you, but they are not seeing you well. So if you imagine you are in a situation, you are taking care of these pensioners, well, you should develop a system that is, that will work for such a special breed. And that is what our training is targeting to. Last time we do it quarterly. I'm chairman of Enugu of Nkano East, Mrs. Onve Mary this second quarter, and then Dr. Ogain also this second quarter. So we bring in experts to train our staff and desk officers. every 3 months.
That's quite gratifying to know that this is actually happening, because one of the
last training, for instance, you can't believe it, the public service rules, and they were amazed to have all the things they do, everything they do in the office, that it is contained in the public service rule. So Mrs. Onvemiri was able to expose all of them, and then the punishment for most of the simple things they think are simple, and it was marvelous.
Okay, but you just talked about punishment, and so it brings me to another very important issue. Government has often warned, and seriously so, about double verification of fraudulent entries, and said it could lead to some strict penalties, including the forfeiture of entitlements. Have there been any such fraudulent activities? And if any, has anybody been persecuted? Or
This issue of double verification, normally we do something like integrated supportive supervision. We include it in whatever we are doing. So when something is when we are starting a process, we try to explain to people the consequences. So because if you have an action, you take an action, you also know the consequences. So we try to explain to people, look, if you do this, these are the consequences. You don't want them to commit that offense before you start giving them. So that has helped a lot. If we explain to you that if you do double verification, it's just like what happened last week. Last week, there was this recruitment verification still in my office, but carried out by Office of SSG. Now, in one of them, I was there, physical, a medical doctor, unfortunate, had 3 birth dates, date of birth, 3 different dates. So they called me because they know I'm a medical doctor. That's why one of the officers called me. Say, Oga, after sometimes now you start saying that we are not helping doctors. Look at what we are facing now. This lady, has 3. Which one are we going to do now? And it doesn't have primary school certificate. So we came to that. I looked at it and look, my dear, you meet such things sometimes. You'll be ashamed of yourself. You see somebody who is up to 60 years. He will say that he's 25. And he's walking on a stick, and he has come to. So you meet all these things, my dear. But what are you going to do? You watch the scope of what you are supposed to do. Watch the limitations, and then you can't go beyond their boundary. So you keep yourself to your boundary and do the work and make your. So when they finish, I say, okay, madam, which one is the real one? Which one? Tell us the real one. You know where you were born, and you know how you got these other 2. I pointed at one. Of course, the concern was, okay, go and do an affidavit on that one you chose. You see, my dear, these things are, if you leave it and it goes out, the consequences will come. But you do integrated supportive supervision.
oh, that's good to know. That of course, victim offender mediation, restorative justice.
Yeah, restorative justice.
See the background you have as a mediator, negotiator, has come to play in a new assignment. Okay. One thing that's happened in Nigeria in successive administrations is about continuity. Sometimes a particular government will come from very good policies, and then the government stays this time, leaves, and then you have another administration that decides to upturn what has been done. Well, I know even if you put a legal framework, but how do you think that this noble thing you have done, this government has done, to ensure a seamless payment of pensions and then, of course, gratuities, do you think anybody coming after this administration will have the temerity to put the hand of the clocks backwards by reversing it?
Well, in governance, there is nothing that is impossible. But the issue is that when you see something working and it is not adverse, it's not affecting you, it's a matter of good governance. It's a matter of governing with integrity. It's a matter of knowing what to do. Like saying, fine, local government chairman, fine, first line of charge amongst it is the payment of workers and pensioners. What is the big deal about it? So you just continue that and then make sure that it is done. And that is all. And then it will be paid. You know, especially when people have tested it 2024, 2025, 2026, and you want to remove it from them. Hey, you will meet a lot of, even if you will succeed, but why do you succeed in doing the bad thing? Why don't you succeed in continuing something that is good? That's why I say that governance, somebody will come and decide. Yeah, but I think Peter Mbai is putting a lot of sustainability, systems, around whatever he is doing, so that it will be sustainable, and there will be no need to stop most of those things. But we, however, know that nothing is impossible in governance. We were praying that Enugu State is always blessed with good governance.
Okay, we're transiting to our last two questions for this conversation. And of course, I want you to look straight to the camera. A few retirees are watching you right now, as you are seated here, and they are yet to receive their gratuity, and they are nervous. They are anxious.
They shouldn't be nervous.
I'm coming now. They're anxious and about the digital platform. What is your direct, definitive timeline and promise to them?
Okay, now I want to tell my retirees that it's not just their gratuity. His Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, has promised, in fact, he has approved, not promised, he has approved 32,000 naira minimum pension for all pensioners in Enugu State. He has approved the payment of gratuities. There's budget for it. Now, even pension arrears before July 2024. Now, also, he has approved free access to National Health Insurance Program. That one, computation is ongoing. It will be launched on 20th of August 2026 this year. Now, all these approvals, they are going. This is a plan, process, product. What pensioners are expecting is at the end of the other end. This is the plan, this is the process, this is the product. So what a pensioner is waiting for is the alert. But the alert cannot just come like that. It has to go through processes. So I am begging my pensioners, please, be patient enough. We are on it on daily basis. We are working hard on daily basis. And His Excellency is, last I was with him, he called the Accountant General and directed him to meet him immediately the next day, because I was there at night, late night. He said, okay, meet me by 9 a.m. Come with this, come with this, come with this. So he's serious. And when I mentioned 32,000 minimum pension, he said that one is forgot. So all these things are there. They are just at the process, but they will be dropping very soon. The soonest, as soon as possible, they will drop. I promise you. This free access to universal health coverage is already dropped, and we are picking it on 20th August. So you see, the governor is pensioner compliant. He's in love with pensioners. In fact, he's like a pensioner. He's behaving as if he's a pensioner.
But he's not.
But he's not a pensioner. So we should be confident. Even if that is, just take this regular payment of your pension. Take it. Take also that you now receive pension before the workers. So you now know that we are not joking. We are not joking. And those of you who know me, you know that when any office I'm occupying, different things must come out from there. So I am working hard, and by the special grace of God, Peter Mba is not somebody who will say, I will do this. And he's not scared, he's not afraid of figures, that is financial figures, like you say, 30 billion. He's not scared. He knows he will pay it. And he said it even in an open ICC, International Conference Center. He said it openly that he's going to clear the pensions. So please, bear with us on the processes. It will soon be over, and then the payment will drop. Thank you very much.
Okay, you've spoken to your pensioners. You've spoken about the interaction with the governor. But right here, what would you be a prayer? What would you, if again you have an opportunity now, tomorrow, after this program, to meet the government, what would you want the state government to immediately do to adequately take care of the pensioners?
Young guy say, Peter Mba, give me that 2,000 pension, minimum pension. That is what I would
effective immediately.
Immediately from today. Pension. Today. Not tomorrow. And it is very easy. Simply, I've calculated it. It can be added in local government as first line charge. You just add, like, it's not up to, it's like extra maybe 15 million in the local government. You just direct. It's a directive. And then by next month, the money is paid. So it's a very simple method, So that will be my, this. If you ask me to beg for one thing now, my Excellency, the talk and do governor, the best governor in Nigeria, I will say, please direct everybody, in the process. Direct everybody. Let us have 32,000 minimum, which you have approved. The national president of pensioners, National Union of Pensioners, is from Enugu. So he has applauded the governor for it in Kano State, in their meeting in Kano State. So we're waiting for it, and we'll implement it.
Well, I think this is a good point to bring this conversation to an end. And of course, that's how we end today's edition of Beyond the Headlines. What have we actually done today? We have just looked at today, and we believe that the Enugu State Pensions Board had transited from paper files to digital servers.
Digital.
Is one thing that is quite obvious, and that's what we've learned today, that the modernization of the Enugu State Local Government Pensions Board is fundamentally about restoring, so to speak, the dignity of the men and women who gave their youth to build our communities. By cleaning up the database, stripping away thousands of ghost entries, and establishing, so to speak, a secure biometric foundation, the state has proven that systematic leakages can be stopped. However, the ultimate success of digital reform will not be measured by the subscription of the software, but by the regularity of the alerts on our retirees' phones.
Yes,
that's very fundamental.
Yes,
technology is a vehicle.
Yeah, look, it's a wonderful thing. Last time the board accountant traveled to Kuru for a program,
yes.
1 week program, and the National Union of Pensioners, they knew that she traveled, so they were not expecting their pension that the time it will come, because she was still in Kuru.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, the alert came, and they rushed to my office and said, but madam is in Kuru now. How was the payment? He said that this is Peter Mba's regime. That even if she's in London, that the app is there. She will simply press the button, the whole money will go. And also, her deputy is here. So I said, this is the new Peter Mba pensions board. That is the system. It's purely digitalized. So wherever they are, wherever my officers are, they can pay from there. They pay on Monday, they pay on Saturday, they pay on Sunday. Just with a simple thing.
I like that. And so what we'll do here on Freedom Square TV is that we'll continue to track these updates. Ensure that every single legitimate retiree gets what they have rightly earned. And so what do I do? Say a big thank you to Dr. Eric Oledo.
Thank you very
much. He's the Executive Secretary and CEO.
In fact, don't thank me. Thank Peter Mba. If you see him, tell him that pensioners are happy and they are expecting the 32,000.
Okay. So as we end, we join Dr. Eric Oledo to ask the working governor of Enugu State, who has already approved.
He has approved it.
Now it is implementation.
Yes, it's just to
kindly
direct.
It
will be part of local government deduction. Yeah.
Yes.
The money goes and then it's paid.
And
immediately.
If that happens after this conversation, we'll be glad we had Dr.
Even my own pension will increase because I'm a pensioner.
Okay. So thank you, our viewers, for engaging with us. And as always, let's keep the conversation going on social media. Of course, using the hashtag Beyond the Headlines or using Freedom Square TV. Until next time, my name is still Uchenna Cyril Anioke. Keep demanding accountability. Look beyond the headlines and have a wonderful day ahead of you.